This is D-Lo 404 Boxing and More. Want to say shout out to the LDBC. Want to say welcome back to my channel to any repeat viewers. Welcome back to the channel to the subscribers. Thank you for your subscription to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I ask that you please subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I ask that you please subscribe to the channel. I just had to get in here. I've just had a pretty rough day at work. Just a lot going on with a lot of technical stuff we had going on where I work at. But anyway, just got done getting home and sat down and went to looking at boxing articles and all, and ran across a video of Triple G, Canelo weigh in. Glad to see both guys made weight. But man, I got to double back on this whole thing with all this animosity that these guys are supposed to be having with one another. My goodness. To me, hard for me to believe that this stuff isn't all about trying to sell the fight. Trying to boost the value of the fight, boost the viewership, want to boost those pay-per-view sales, pay-per-view buys, so to speak. Man, I said it in another video, and I'll say it again in this one. If these guys are so angry with one another, have so much competitive drive to want to dominate or inflict hurt upon one another in the ring, and I'm saying that in a sporty way. I mean, I know, they're professionals. But if these guys really have all this bad blood and bitterness toward one another, this fight better not resemble that first fight whatsoever if they expect fans to continue to tune in when they fight. And I'm saying when they fight anyone. Because the reality is, if you've been following boxing, you've been following what's been going on with these two guys' careers, when it comes to fighting the top guys in and around the middleweight division, neither guy has had really had a real interest in fighting the other top guys in the division. Whether that be 160 or 154 or somewhere in between, because Canelo made his own weight there for a minute. But anyway, it just seems as if, and I've said this before, it just seems as if these guys are really trying to oversell this bad blood and bitterness to promote the fight. Because as we've all seen, HBO's promotion of the fight has been very poor. You don't really hear a whole lot about this fight. There are so many other fights that stole the thunder away from this fight. And it's, honestly, a lot of it is their own fault. The whole thing with the clenbuterol and then all this back and forth bickering and just, ridiculous talk about gloves and about, the Canelo being accused of being a cheater in the first fight. The thing about the purse split, back and forth about that. The talk about the raps. I mean, just so much stuff that they've gone back and forth about to the point that they've almost turned you off from wanting to watch the fight. I mean, and I'm being honest about that. I think for myself it's almost to the point where get it over with, But I'm going to tune in. I'm not buying the fight. I'm going to tune in and watch the fight. They won't get my pay-per-view dollars this time. I paid for the fight last time. If I'm not mistaken, I think I paid for the fight last time. But if from the way the first fight went, the tentativeness of both guys, the failure to really engage, they were way too cautious, way too respectful of one another for 12 rounds. I understand that in the early goings of a fight, you understand that. But for 12 rounds, these guys had way too much respect for one another. And I think the product that the fans got was not what we expected. It was an inferior product because of their lack of willingness to really engage with one another. I know these guys are on a different skill level than the two guys I'm about to mention. But I was more so expecting the fight to be something like Alfredo Angulo, James Kirkland type fireworks as far as two guys coming at each other. And like I said, I know these guys are a lot more technically skilled than that. But that's the kind of willingness I wanted to see when it comes to two guys really willing to get in there and mix it up. And we didn't get that. But now we're getting a whole bunch of back and forth arguing between two grown professional boxers who are supposed to be two of the top guys in their weight division. You know, that doesn't make me feel very positive or very convinced that we're gonna get fireworks this time around. And I don't expect the guys to go out there like rock'em sock'em robots. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these guys, for the way they're building this animosity toward one another, these guys ought to be willing to go in there and go for broke. Go in there and give it everything they got to try to knock one another out, or at the very least win so convincingly that there's no possibility of a draw, which is what we got the first time. There's no possibility of a controversial decision one way or the other. One of these guys should go out there and win the fight convincingly, or one of these guys should get knocked out. You know, because at the end of the day, if two guys are going out there with a chip on their shoulder and with the determination that they're going to dominate the other guy or knock the other guy out, it should happen. Now, there's a possibility that it doesn't play out that way, but if it doesn't, the end result should be that the fans get a very entertaining fight, even if it does wind up going 12 rounds. You know, prime example of that would be, you know, the fight with Badu Jack and Adonis Stevenson. You know, they had some filling out rounds, but I mean, ultimately, when those guys went after each other, they went after each other. And it looked for rounds and rounds that there was no way the fight was going to make it to 12 round into the final bell, but it actually did. But the fans were in for a treat. And that's all I'm expecting that's all I'm asking out of this. But in all honesty, I can't say that I expect it, just because it's just so much buildup. And to me, it's looking like it's a lot of fake hype. You know, the weigh-in with Canelo acting as if he just got to be restrained, or he's gonna get on Triple G's ass. You know, that to me, that just looked fake. And then Triple G's handlers were like trying to hold him back, and Triple G wasn't even doing anything, just standing there. Like, why are y'all grabbing him? He's not doing nothing. He's just standing there looking. You know, it's like, you know, somebody forgot to tell Triple G that they were supposed to act as if they want to get after each other, or he just refused to play along. But whatever was going on with that, like I said, tomorrow night, I want to see, and I'm hoping that I'm able to watch the fight because there's inclement weather over this way. I live in South Carolina, so, you know, it's a possibility that, you know, we'll be without power or without television service, internet service, or whatever. But I'm hopeful that we're not in that situation. But if I'm in any way, shape, form, or fashion able to watch this fight, I will do so. But I'm not going to pay HBO pay-per-view money to watch it. But with that said, I'm hoping it's an entertaining fight for the fans. And even beyond that, I'll say it again, I'm hoping that these guys coming out of this fight are interested in fighting the other top guys at 160. And I'm not talking about just the winner. I'm talking about the loser as well. Because if you guys are supposed to be two of the top guys in the division, you shouldn't, even following a knockout loss, you shouldn't drop down to fighting the guys at the bottom of the pecking order in the division. So, I mean, and that's really all I want to say about it. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but all I'm saying is I want to see that same enthusiasm between Triple G and Canelo tomorrow night. And me as a boxing fan, if I don't see that, it's really going to turn me away from tuning in to watch either one of those guys fight. You know, because I feel like all it takes is one of them to go out there and really go after it. The other one's going to meet the challenge. But if they both come out there with that tentative approach like they did last time, then I'm probably just going to turn the TV off and watch something else, or watch something else. But with that said, I'm fixing to get on out of here. Hey, I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate you tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like, share, comment.